Oh, hey, folks, I'm WWE Hall of Famer Hacksaw Jim Duggan, and you're listening to Horrible Horror. Tough guy, so bad, it's scary.
Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Splitting up is never okay. Plot, who needs it? Don't turn on the lights. Cars don't ever start, but that's alright. Running upstairs instead of out the door. Good acting, what do we need that for? Horrible horror, so bad it's scary. Enjoy the show, but not really.
What's up, Moon Goons? Welcome to Horrible Horror, the podcast where we watch the worst of the worst in horror movies. Movies so bad they're scary. I'm your host, Marshall Hampton. With me, as always, my co-host, my buddy, Mr. Aaron Southworth. Aaron, how are you doing on this fine October evening?
October, baby.
October is here.
Excuse me. I'm choking. Jesus. I'm just gargling cocks all night.
Oh.
Oh, man. Okay.
That's
no.
why you were late. Okay.
Yeah, I know. I'm a little late to the show, but hey, I'm here.
You gotta make that pit stop at the truck stop with the glory hole in it, right?
Man, man's got to make a living. But yeah, but it's October. I got to make sure I got some extra pocket change for October.
Yeah.
So yeah, man, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
Always.
Appreciate that. Yeah, it is October. Halloween season is here. That is the best time of the year for everybody. I can't even open my own beer.
There it is.
Yeah, but here we're kicking off Halloween here, so that also brings the slew of haunted house and haunted house attraction season. So we're going to do movies, the next probably theme movies next few weeks of movies that focus on or themed around haunted house attractions.
Haunted house attractions. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's something we always used to do as kids.
I loved it.
Like every Halloween, like Marshall and I, we go back way back to like the good old days of like Big Wheels and Nintendo, original Nintendo. But we always used to go to haunted houses together as kids. Every Halloween, whatever weekend it kind of fell on, we'd go and do haunted houses. So yeah, man.
I always want to keep getting back to it, but this shit, man, fucking being a grown-up sucks. Things get in the way.
Being an adult.
I'm like, oh, we'll do it this weekend, and then something happens. Like, oh, well, maybe next weekend. Nope. Wait, Halloween was 2 weeks ago? Well, shit. So, kind of, yeah, things just kind of happen.
Almost lost my beer there. Because that seems how it goes.
Yeah. So this week we're doing a little movie called House of Horrors, Gates of Hell. It's a little independent movie. This thing is released on October 3rd. Before I get into that, I always forget this. Aaron, shout out where drop the knowledge on the good old listeners out there.
You are listening to Horrible Horror Podcast. You can always find us at Facebook, Instagram.
I'm sorry, I sound like an NPR. You're now listening to A1 on NPR.
You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Our Twitter handle is @SoBadIt'sScary. And of course, if you're listening to us, you're probably listening to us on iTunes, Google Play, Podbean, iHeartRadio, or Speaker.com. So, yeah, and you can also find us at our website, HorribleHorrorPodcast.com. That is HorribleHorrorPodcast.com, where you can stream episodes, check out our merch, buy a shirt, and if you really feel like being generous, go to our Patreon, give us some money. We don't have any prizes for you, though. So,
no, not
fuck
yet.
you.
Yeah.
I've been saying that forever.
I know, but it's like it's hard to come up with shit, man.
We're just assholes. We're just like, give us money.
But you ain't getting shit in return.
We'll say your name all over our episode.
Yeah, we'll give you your name.
Sure, for certain, we've done that. We've only had a few people pitch in.
Yeah.
And we've said their names, so
yeah,
you'll get that. You'll be immortalized on our podcast.
We keep talking about wanting to do extra content, but it's just time right now is finding time to get things.
We can barely do this today.
Yeah. So anyway, let's move on. Like I said, House of Horrors, Gates of Hell this week. It was released on October 3rd of 2012.
So this is an October release.
It is an October release.
Staying with the season.
Yes.
I do like that.
Written and directed by Mr. Daniel Moore. Just for you guys who really know shitty movies, to kind of get an idea of what you were in for this week. This is released on DVD. If you really want to purchase a copy of it, you can get through Brain Damage Films. So,
Brain Damage.
Yeah, it's a Brain Damage release.
Man, when I saw that, it was from Brain Damage.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, "Fuck yeah!" I was kind of hoping to see one of those long commercially intros,
like the infomercial before
like that guy who came from he's a cast off of like a wannabe Matrix character,
Yeah.
with the individual spiked hair. Welcome to Brain Damage Film. I have a septum piercing. I have safety pins in my ears.
God, what movie did we do? What movie
Tara Baxter,
was it? Baxter? Yeah,
because I remember
yeah.
that was the best part of the whole fucking
Yes,
movie.
thank you. That crazy ass 30-minute long commercial.
The music.
for
Dun, 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 dun. Brain damage. Man, fuck yeah! But they just had they did show a couple flashes of that guy.
Did they? I missed that.
Yeah,
I know it
like,
said Brain Damage.
I saw a couple flashes. I'm like, ooh, here it comes,
Ah.
Yeah, they just did like a quick 10-second.
You can find this movie on Vudu. This is surprisingly accessible. Way more than I thought it would be. I'll be honest with you. It's on Vudu, Amazon Prime for free if you got it. YouTube, not YouTube Red, but I think you can just straight up watch it on YouTube. Like if you want, Google Play and iTunes. The cast, fuck nobody except for there's 2 cameo appearances in this movie. One by a person some people might know. She's kind of famous in circles. Amy Nicoletto. She's kind of famous or got known from her time on LA Inc. as one of the female tattoo artists who now goes around tours doing tattoos at conventions. Also, she's in this. She makes a small appearance. And then we do have Horrible Horror alumni, Mr. Sam Qualiana.
Ooh.
He makes an appearance in this briefly. But that's it. The rest of the cast ain't shit to talk about.
I do like his cameo. It's pretty funny, honestly.
Yeah, he's obviously probably the best part of this movie. And he's only in it for 2 minutes at that. He probably has 4 lines.
Yeah.
Yeah, all right. That's it. There's nothing else to talk about. So we're gonna go to the movie. We open this demonic voice doing voiceover, talking about keys and gates and other bullshit.
There's always been dark and light.
Yeah.
Good and evil.
Yin and yang.
Pork and beans. Coke and Pepsi.
Yeah.
Bud White and Miller Lite. This is what it felt like.
Yeah, it really did feel like that. Yeah.
I'm like, I get it.
So then we go inside the House of Horrors haunted attraction where this maintenance man or inspector guy is walking around the clipboard.
I think he was the best actor in the whole movie.
He may have been.
I really do. I'm not shitting you.
Yeah. And he talks to this guy named Cage, spelled with a K, who's one of the house employees. Cage leaves for lunch after pointing the man in the direction of some various power boxes or some other shit they need to look at.
Yeah, he's here to inspect, make sure the haunted house is up and operational and everything checks
up the code.
out. And he kind of lets it be known that he does not like haunted houses.
No, he does. He's a Christmas guy.
He's a Christmas guy.
He's a Christmas guy.
Yeah, so he's he's gonna go check the place out, and Cage leaves him to check it out.
So this guy, he goes about his business, checking breaker boxes and fuses and all this shit. And then one of the fuses blows, and the whole place goes dark. He starts hearing noises, and he thinks he sees something or someone rush by in the dark. He's like, all right, whatever, I'm out of here. He starts, so now he's walking through the haunted house on the various hallways and through the rooms. And basically the next few minutes is just an excuse to show the haunted houses and its various rooms and props. It's
And you
let's get this out of the way right now. This movie is basically an hour and a half long commercial for a haunted house.
Yes.
It's basically what it is.
Yeah, and you're gonna get a lot of haunted house shots.
Yes, lots of look at this room and look at these props and look at this.
This is a great animatronic, isn't it?
Yeah. So that's what we get.
Now, when he was in one of those rooms, when the creepy doll that's rocking back and forth with the jaw ripped off, they show that one a lot.
They do show that one a lot.
But I thought it was kind of clever, and I don't know if you noticed this or not. The music that was playing was a Christmas carol. They were playing Christmas music.
I wasn't paying that close attention.
I thought that was pretty fucking clever, actually. It was very subtle because he kept talking about how he's a Christmas guy and he hates Halloween. There was a Christmas song playing. It was like.
Well, that's true. That's actually pretty cool.
I thought that was pretty clever. I was like, ooh,
that may be the smartest thing this movie did then. But I missed it. I mean, there's a jump scare too during this, but nothing happens. He reaches a room with this old cobweb covered altar in it. And when I say altar, it really looks more like a freaking old like dresser,
It
like
just looks
shaving
like a
stand or
shitty
something.
old dresser.
Yeah, like something like a vanity or something like that. And now the camera switches to demon vision, which is just a blurry red filter accompanied by some obnoxious sounds.
Speaking of brain damaged films, you know what I thought of exactly right when I started thinking?
The demon dogs,
The
from
chupacabra.
chupacabras. Yeah, it's the chupacabra from Terror Back to You. You're right. It's the exact same thing.
It's the same fucking effect. I mean, it might be a little cleaned up, but it's red vision, blurry, and do you hear this? Pretty good.
That's basically all you hear the whole time.
Pretty solid.
So the guy gets spooked. He takes off running down the various hallways while being chased by the blurry red filter
But
of death.
it's invisible. You know, he just... The only sense I was getting is, you know that feeling you get when you go into the basement and you're all alone and it's dark and you're walking back towards the stairs and you're like, oh, something's going to get me going. You know, like that kind of feeling, you know what I mean? Like, that's the kind of feeling I
and there
imagine.
really is, like, no real
There's
visual
nothing,
reason or any reason for him to be running like this. But
because they show him running away and he's looking behind him and he's dropping his shit and
there's nothing there. Yeah, it's just... so he's being... The blurry filter's chasing him. He makes it out of the attraction, back out to this insanely large lobby area.
Like this, it's like a warehouse.
It's a giant fucking warehouse with like multiple attractions built into it. He thinks he's safe, and that's when he's suddenly flying through the air, slams up against the wall on the opposite side of the building.
And when we say flying through the air, it's like they have a long shot, a very wide shot. And you see him going, just flying through this fucking. It's pretty good.
Yeah, where he slams up against the wall on the opposite side of the building, and he's held midair up against the wall about 10 feet off the ground
in Jesus Christ pose.
He's arms out. He's like a crucified on a cross, and then a moment passes, and that's when the floor in front of him explodes into flames. He catches on fire. He's screaming. Blackout. Roll title and opening credits. So that's how we open.
Damn.
Yeah.
Huh?
We meet our main cast of characters here, and as they all have a staff meeting about getting the haunted house attractions ready to open in 30 days. And basically we have Tim, the giant muscle-bound owner who only wears tiny tank tops.
Dude, he's so big.
He's huge. So big. It's like he's not that tall, but he's like so wide.
He's one of the
He's like a power lifter type guy. He's not like ripped and jacked out, chiseled. Yeah. He's not like our friend Kevin Caliber, like Superman, where he's all just chiseled and 8-packs. This is this like fucking like Mark Henry big beef guy. Yeah, he's like
you said, a power lifter, world's strongest man,
kind
of like
guy,
physique, you know,
He's just wears tiny little tank tops to show off his muscles. Then we have
I would too.
And then we have the old man Pops, who I don't know what the fuck he does. He's just there. He's an old guy.
He's the janitor.
Was he? Okay. Cage, who we've already met, and then we also have Dusty, Cody, two other guys. Cody's the bearded bandana wearing guy. Brenda, the blonde leather bound cougar of a woman. Sandy, a middle aged woman with fake red hair, who we never see again. And you totally forget about her. And our main girl, Big Titty Jamie, who's supposed to be like the art director for a haunted house and all this shit.
Now them some titties.
Yeah, she has some great looking titties. There's also this other guy who's running the meeting, telling everyone like, "Hey, you're assigned to this. This is your job. This is your job." But I don't know his name, and it doesn't matter. But we never see him again either. And
you do see him again.
Do we?
Yeah.
Where?
It's when they do the auditions.
Oh yeah. Okay. All right. So we see him one other time.
Yeah.
He never gets killed, as far as I know. But the weird thing about this is, I found it weird and a little confusing that why he was leading the staff meeting when Tim is supposed to be the owner. You would think he'd be the one in charge. Like, I'm the owner, he's the boss. But
maybe he's a silent partner.
I don't know. It was just weird. But anyway, the scene's super boring. It's stiffly written and even more stiffly acted out. It's awful.
Very, very. This is a great opportunity to have some chemistry amongst your actors and actresses. Because it's like the dialogue's not poorly written. It's just very poorly delivered. it's supposed to be banter. It's supposed to be a little poking fun. Like it's supposed to be.
See, I think I kind of disagree with you. I know exactly where you're going. It's supposed to be a banter. It's supposed to be like, these guys are.
They've worked together. This is the 11th year.
Yeah, they know each other.
Yeah, this is where you can kind of.
They rib each other.
Yeah.
Hey, but it fails. It falls flat. But I think the writing wasn't natural. I think they tried to force it too much with the writing and the way they acted it out or delivered the lines. It was too forced and didn't work.
Well, it definitely didn't help with the actors and actresses. They just seemed pretty stiff.
Oh yeah, very stiff. So Dusty, he's this guy who's always snapping pictures. And he's always got his camera singing. I guess he's like the internet guy. I don't know. He I don't know what the fuck his job is.
He wears his hat backwards,
and it says Dusty on it,
which is fine. But he wears it over his fucking eyebrows.
Yeah,
it's so low on his head. It's literally covering his eyebrows.
Yeah, it is.
It's like That's a real weird choice, man. That's a weird choice.
And we find out that Jamie is supposedly a psychic, and whose mother was also a psychic who killed herself. Like, what? What the fuck is going on already? This is crazy.
And they like bust her balls.
Yeah, they're like, your mom killed herself.
You're psychic. Your mom killed herself.
And now we cut to Father Michael, who's our other main character, sitting at a desk in, I guess, his little office, looking at various newspaper clippings are on the wall that he's taped to the wall. And the blurry red filter of death comes back. It's like floating behind him, looking down on him. And that's when the head of his crucified Jesus statue on his desk explodes for no fucking reason. Boom! Boom! Just a statue explodes on his desk.
And he just kind of goes...
This motherfucker has like zero reaction to this.
He seems pretty okay with it.
He's like, oh, goddamn. He's like,
old hat.
Old hat. Yeah. Like, if some of mine spontaneously just explode like 2 feet away from me, I'd be like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I'd be freaking out.
Because he's looking around, you hear the red vision, you can tell he's like, something's afoot. What's going on? And then the head explodes, he's like, yeah.
So now we cue up we get the haunted house ready montage.
Yes.
Accompanied by some shitty rockabilly song about being in a haunted house. And again, this looks like it's more made for like a behind the scenes documentary of this haunted house. It's basically what it is. It's like just behind the scenes footage and they're dragging props around.
This is obviously a legit haunted house.
Yeah.
Like this is what they're going to film a movie alongside this haunted house.
Yeah.
So it's a great 2-for-1 kind of opportunity for the people, and it shows them like doing stuff and having fun and playing grab ass and we're making a haunted house,
throwing these props here and painting this it's just
we're building this and
it finally ends, and we end up with Dusty walking through the haunted house, snapping pictures here and there. So a few more jump scares with some of the props in the house. Jamie,
they do a lot of that, man.
Yeah, like show off our props.
There's a lot of that. Yeah, I mean it's.
Every jump scare is a prop going off, is an animatronic going off, and like the first, like every single jump scare is just a prop going off.
Kind of made me think of Halloween Haunt a little bit. Like in Halloween Haunt, Killer Eye. How they were, they just kept showing different props. Now, of course, they had beautiful, big-breasted women running around everywhere in their underwear, so it was fantastic to watch.
Yeah, but that movie was so much better than this. It was so much more fun.
It was. But it still made me kind of think of that a little bit, because that was the big thing. They just showed a lot of props in that movie, too.
Yeah.
Whereas this movie had better props, that movie had much better everything.
Yeah. We go to Jamie. She's curled up in a chair having some sort of like mental crisis. Who the fuck knows? She's hearing voices in her head. And we just hear all the people talking again, like Dusty, Cody, people talking about her mother being psychic. The voice talking about her psychic abilities. Then we hear a voice say something about showing a priest a photo and blah. It's just a bunch of weird shit, various voices going on. Some voices are co-workers. One of the voices is a demon voice that's like for some reason she's hearing, which makes zero sense at this point in time.
Are you sure she's just not thinking to herself, or she just might be schizophrenic?
Yeah, there's something going on in there. So we get more of Dusty walking around, taking pictures, more jump scares. Brenda, the leather-wearing cougar, pops up, flirts with him a bit, leads him on to think that she's gonna have sex with him. She rubs her hand over his crotch, but tells him he has a small dick and just walks away. That's basically the whole scene.
Yeah, and here is a great opportunity for maybe a little bit of acting or a little bit of change in your facial expression.
Yeah.
This dude, Dusty, his face stays exactly the same, I think, through the entire...
Basically from action to rap.
Yeah.
From the start of the film to the end of the credits, his face never changes.
Never changes. Women feeling his dick? Ugh. Demons jumping out? Ugh. I mean, just everything.
Yeah.
Ugh. His face is just kind of, I think he's supposed to be kind of deadpan, but goddamn, that is one dead fucking
Yeah, I mean,
pan.
it's like to the point, it's almost like you're worried this guy's maybe overly medicated or something. It's like, what? There's something wrong with this guy.
Lay off the Xanax, bro.
Now, this is just a minor nitpick I have, but it's something that just I noticed, and once I noticed it bothered me about the picture taking. Every time we see him taking the picture, he's holding the camera vertically. But then every time we switch, the camera switches, the camera, what he's taking a picture of, we see through the camera lens, it's horizontal every single time. And it's just one of those little dumb things, but I had to notice it ate at my brain.
Because you take pictures.
I used to, yeah. But it's just,
I was like, that's only a pro thing, or someone who's taking a lot of pictures. Because I didn't notice a fucking thing.
Yeah, it's all the information, that should be tilted. It didn't make sense. But anyway, yeah, small nitpick, doesn't matter. But just something I noticed. We go back to Jamie in the room with the altar. She's looking at it. The blurry red filter of death lingers behind her. It sounds like almost like a bad Zuzuela or something like that, or
Vuvuzela, yeah.
It sounds like a broken one of those or something like that. Most annoying sound in the world.
It's really annoying.
It is. She gets scared by Cody and Dusty, who pop up behind her. They chit chat a bit. As they leave the room, Jamie looks and she sees a literal ghost of old woman sitting in a chair in the corner of the room. She says nothing, and they all just leave. And she's like, all right, whatever.
What's that? Nah.
I'm not. No, that's fine.
It's this weird image, and at first I was like, okay, is it a visual effect? Is it a I think holograms were just starting around that time.
Not yet. Not that sophisticated. But yeah, I know what you're saying.
But I'm like, maybe. Then I'm like, nope. It's supposed to be a ghost.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and they just leave. So now we go to Tim and Gage. They're going through inventory. Brenda comes in, tosses Tim a package that came from him from the Middle East, supposedly. He's I got no clue what this is.
And he just tosses it.
Yeah, he throws it away, tosses it aside. Cage mentions... God, of all the things, this is such an odd, weird choice to me that they put this in the movie. But Cage mentions that tonight is the big Gwar concert and wants to know if Tim is going.
Fuck yeah,
and Tim's like, fuck yeah, backstage passes, baby. I'm like, first of all, big Gwar concert? I don't think Gwar's had a big concert since 92.
I don't know, man. Gwar's pretty awesome.
I mean, I think, they used to be have these legendary crazy shows. But nowadays, is Gwar still a thing?
What? Oh, this was 2012.
Yeah.
When did Lord Humongous die? The lead singer.
I don't know.
God, it was around that time. It was probably after. But yeah, the lead singer of Gwar, Lord Humongous, died sometime. Yeah, I can't remember exactly when, but it's right around that time. So, interesting.
But it's just weird, well, I would say the big Metallica concert.
Well, they always sell out pops whenever they come here.
Fucking Gwar, they're still a thing.
I don't know. I kind of liked it. I was like, that's cool. I liked it.
I'm not saying I did. I just thought it's such an odd choice.
They were never sold out a massive theater. Or anything. I mean, they're always.
That's what I'm saying. The big Gwar concert, they're playing the fucking the
Palisade
or some giant stadium. No, it's Anyway, so now the AC unit goes out. Tim tells Cage to go fix the AC right now because they have auditions coming up and a TV news crew coming in an hour. So Cody and Dusty now, they're sitting at a computer going through the pictures that Dusty took. And they come to one of Tim, and they notice that behind Tim are a pair of giant glowing red and black eyes. I'm like, oh, that's odd. Okay, whatever.
Yeah. And again, they're just I guess we'll print it.
Yeah, I guess so. Meanwhile, Tim opens the package that he tossed away earlier and pulls out what looks like a hairy candle, which he places on the altar.
It just looks like hair wrapped around a can.
Yeah, it's just I don't know what it is.
And they never really say anything about it.
No,
he gets it out, and it's the whoa in the background, and he looks weird, and he's putting it down.
And as soon as he puts it on the altar, like the altar begins to shake a bit. And that's it. Then they cut away, and we go to Cage, who's on his way to fix the AC. He finds the inspector's clipboard on the ground, and when he looks up, he sees the shape of the cross that has been burnt into the cement wall where the inspector was killed in fire. But Cage, again, is like, whatever, moves on. Like, are you shitting me?
There is a lot of meh moments.
A lot of it moments. But this bothers me so much in this one because, like, okay, these guys are supposed to be, they're the ones working this place. They have built this thing from the ground up. They're responsible for bringing it. These people know this place inside and out, what every scare is, every prop, everything is. They know what's supposed to be there and what's not supposed to be there. And so when you look up to a wall that's been blank, just a solid cement wall for probably years, and all of a sudden there's a burnt-in cross 10 feet up in the air, and you're just like, what? Are you kidding me? Have some kind of reaction like, holy shit, that wasn't there yesterday.
Or just say, what are we doing? Is this going to be a new edition?
Yeah,
what is this?
I guess Tim made an edition or something. But he's like, So Cage makes his way through the giant warehouse. We get more shots of various props and shit. Another jump scare. He finally gets to a fuse box, flips the switch, and heads up to the roof. Next, we see Jamie looking up some priest on the internet, and then she Googles evil altar haunted house. That's what she types in her Google search.
Oh, you mean her Yippee search?
No, the Yippee. Yippee was the priest profile.
Oh, my bad.
Yeah, that was the Yippee priest profile. Then she Googles in, evil altar haunted house. And then she finds like this wooden cross prop. She holds it up. She's looking at it. It's in her hand. And then from out of fucking nowhere, the cross explodes in her hand.
This is like two exploding crucifix.
Yes, the whole cross explodes in her hand.
To which she kind of goes, huh.
Yeah, she barely reacts to this.
Her eyes look a little big.
Maybe a little bit.
But she's not like, ah!
Yeah, no scream, no freak out, nothing.
No gasp?
No, and then on top of that, then like this misty, blurry shape begins to take form in front of her. Like you can visually see this. It's clear. Still, no scream, no fear, no reaction. Her eyes go a little bit wide. I'm like, are you fucking kidding me? Like this... Like I said, if something exploded in my goddamn hand, I would be freaking the fuck out. Either I'm like, oh my god, I have superpowers. Like, what the hell?
I can make crosses explode.
Boom, boom. I'm Antichrist Man or something.
The power of Christ compels you to watch your ass, motherfucker.
I love that. That's awesome. So yeah, we go back to Cage. He's up on the roof. He starts messing with like the big rooftop AC units, wiring the circuitry, but nothing works. And then he starts hearing noises coming from the vents. And we get more blurry red filter of death shots.
There's a lot of baby cries.
Yeah, a lot of kid laughing baby cries.
So that's something we didn't really mention before.
No,
lots of times when they're like, "What's that sound?" It's always like a
yeah, like a little girl laughing or something.
I fucking hate that.
I do too. It's like, is this like when did this become like the go-to for creepy? Like, why is this everything?
And it's not just this movie. It's across the genre.
Yeah, it's become like a thing.
I guess what's not scary to me? Fucking children. I'm sorry. Little kids creepy, saying weird nursery rhymes and going, ah. No, that doesn't scare me at all. I'm like, oh, this is the bad guy? I'm going to fucking kick this 4-year-old's ass.
Know how you beat that? You ground them. You're grounded, go to your room. Oh, there you go. Evil averted.
Like,
no, I don't know.
Because that thought of... these conversations we have when we're drunk. How many 5-year-olds do you think you can take in a fight?
Yeah.
How many would it take for them to overpower you? And it's like maybe 20. Because of course he'd pick one up and use it as just swing it around. Would it be 20? Would it be 30? Yeah, we really break it down. So when I think of one evil child going, I'd be like, oh, no problem.
Yeah.
I got this all day.
No, I agree with you. I'm really tired of the use of like the kids laughing or the kid noises to try to be scary. Anyway, he goes back to the AC unit. He messes with it some more, another wire, and then he gets shocked by the good old blue electricity bolt.
I did like seeing that.
I figured you would. As soon as I saw him, like, oh, Aaron will like that.
Blue lightning.
The blue lightning, he gets him. The red filter death comes back. Cage takes off running. The latch to the ladder slams shut. Cage stands there on the roof looking around at nothing. And then all of a sudden, he erupts into flames. Like a geyser of flames just spontaneously erupts, and he's in it.
They do a wide shot of the building. They show this giant pillar.
It's a pillar of fire
just shooting into the air.
Yeah, it's like something from like you would see like in a maybe like a doomsday movie, like
or like Indiana Jones,
or like sci-fi. It's like this giant beacon of light, just like boom, going straight up to. Like you would see this thing from miles away.
It wouldn't be like pillar of fire seen today over this haunted house. Yeah.
And then when it goes, Cage is just gone. His whole body's gone, and all that's left is like a pile of black ash on the roof. But yeah, the fucking geyser of fire is just
we've
ridiculous.
Had 2 deaths so far, and they've both been people bursting the
spontaneous eruption.
I'm like, I see where this is going. Oh boy, this is gonna be a long movie.
Yeah. So now we cut to Tim, who's getting interviewed by the local TV news for the upcoming house opening. And the field producer for the news show is played by Horrible Horror alumni Sam Qualiana.
Yep.
The scene fucking sucks. It's poorly written and poorly acted. The best part about it is Sam, but it's just a shitty scene.
I didn't mind the scene so much because, what do you expect a muscle pound guy who runs a, yeah, that's how he's going to act. But the guy who interviews him is supposed to be your local news.
Yeah.
And he's got he's an older guy who's gone bald. He's mostly bald. He's still trying to cover up with a shitty goatee.
Yeah.
And he's just like, here, I'm here with Channel 7 News wearing a black t-shirt and a sports coat. Who the fuck let this homeless guy read the news? Dude, your local news anchor's always got the sharp haircut, a decent tie, is usually kind of young. The hair is always a big, big thing.
Yeah.
Always in a suit. Who's this asshole?
No, I agree. The news guy was awful.
It didn't make any sense.
But yeah, the writing for Tim and his lines were just fucking pathetic. And he was just like, me, muscle bound, ooh, be health scary, come tea, and that's basically him. Like I said, Sam Qualiana is the best part of this scene, and he only has 4 or 5 lines in the entire movie. But I do like the fact he does get in a reference to his own movie Snow Shark into this. They worked that into the movie, which I thought was kind of funny.
I did like that. He's like, all right, guys, that's a wrap. We got to go. And he's like, oh, where you guys going next? We're going to go interview some guy upstate who made a movie about sharks eating people in the snow. Whatever that is all about.
Yeah, what the fuck?
Yeah, whatever the fuck that is.
Yeah.
Which I thought was pretty funny.
Yeah, I got chuckle out of that too. So, again, the TV interview is just another commercial for the actual haunted house. Jamie, we go to her. She finds a picture of the red eyes behind Tim. She finds that picture. She takes it. And we jump to Father Michael in a large empty church. He gets a call from his agent / publicist or something. Talking about his upcoming lecture for his book tour tonight. And then Michael has a staring contest with the cross for about a minute while being watched by the red filter from above.
Right? It was long.
And he's just standing there staring at a cross.
And I was waiting for it to explode.
Me too.
I was like, please God. Please God. Please God.
I wanted the hat trick of exploding crosses.
We already had 2
in
half an hour. Let's go for the trifecta, baby.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, it does not.
Yeah, nothing fucking happens. He just turns and walks out of the church. Back to Jamie, who shows Cody and Dusty the picture and wants to know what it is and why they didn't bring this to her attention, because apparently she's supposed to be the expert in red glowing eyes and pictures and some shit like that. I don't know.
They're like, what, whatever, just a picture.
She tells him that she saw something that looks like the eyes in the picture staring at her or something like that, some crap. And we jump to Brenda, the cougar, alone, walking through the haunted house in the dark with a flashlight looking for some spare key. Which, at this point, I'm like, the house isn't in operation yet. They're closed, or they're still working on it. Why wouldn't the lights of the building be on? She's walking around in the middle of the day with a fucking flashlight in this haunted house. I'm like, just turn the goddamn lights on.
Yeah,
It's not hours of operation. You're still building the place. The lights would be fucking on.
I worked in a haunted house once.
Yeah.
So the one time I worked in it, it was a great haunted house. It was only open for 1 year. But, man, the guy who did it was a labor of love. He lost a ton of money doing it, but, man, he fucking did it right. And I helped work on it. I was a teenager. But, yeah, when we were constructing it and putting it together, all the lights were on because you need to see what the fuck you're doing. Because haunted houses are dark.
Yeah. Like, why would you?
And, yeah, you're supposed to walk slowly and move around. Everything's bright, lit up, and it takes away all the mysticism.
Yeah.
Because you get to see all the fucking shitty little corners that
I mean,
you have covered up here and there.
maybe that's one reason why they said, you know what, let's not be real here and actually turn the lights on, which would make sense, but let's keep it dark because this really is just a giant commercial for the haunted house and we don't want to ruin the mystique by turning the lights on.
Yeah.
Is that what their thinking was? I mean, this is dumb.
Yeah, she's in the psychedelic clown
Yeah, she ends up there. Like,
room.
if you're looking for a tiny little key too, turn the fucking lights on.
Exactly.
But yes, thank you for bringing that up. She's in the trippy black light ass clown
It looks
area.
cool.
Which seems like every haunted house has those now.
Oh,
it's
yeah.
like everything has them. She gets a phone call and it's just the sound of a clown laughing on the other end. And then suddenly one of the clown props comes to life, starts chasing her. She runs, and she runs to the bathroom. She tries to hide in one of the stalls in the women's bathroom. The clown then just pops up next to her, suddenly in the stall, just out of nowhere. Grabs her. Somehow she's kind of like on top, staying on the toilet seat.
She's got her
something.
back against the far wall.
She's like in the corner. The toilet's in the corner.
And she's got her legs are kind of straddling the toilet. Sort of.
But she's kind of like above it too.
Yeah, she's standing up.
It's a really awkward. Yeah, I don't know what she's on. The clown pulls out a machete, points it to her vag, laughs, then kills her by stabbing her through the vagina with the machete.
We see a whole bunch of blood plopping into the toilet.
Yep. And
well, at least she didn't burst into flames.
At least, yes. I was waiting for that afterwards. I thought she was gonna die and then just boom, she'd explode in flames.
And the clown is a very killer clown from outer space look.
Yeah, that's not even that.
Well, it has demon teeth. It's got big sharp crazy teeth.
It's a demon.
It's got
clown. It's the demon. The scary clown, not like not a regular bozo clown.
Yeah, it's definitely more of a killer clown from outer space look.
Not like the clown from Pagliani or Paglione. What the fucking opera we did not that long ago.
No.
Not the regular clown. But you can tell it's definitely just a giant latex mask, and you can hear the clown's kind of laughing or trying to make noises and talk, but his mouth doesn't move because it's a fucking mask.
Barely moves.
Yeah. You see the blood fall into the toilet bowl. And then we see a wide shot. She's kind of sitting dead, kind of propped up on this toilet with her legs spread and bloody crotch exposed.
Kind of but the crotch wasn't that bloody.
It wasn't. That thing would be a fucking mess.
I was so bummed about that. I was like, okay, well, we didn't see him actually thrust, and it makes sense because
it's in a low budget. You can only do so much.
And I'm like, okay, but when you show the reveal, just splash her vag with some blood.
Throw a bucket of blood in her crotch. At least that. But no, it's that was pour a little packet of ketchup on her crotch.
There's more coming out of her mouth.
Yeah.
Than there is out of her pussy.
Exactly.
I mean, Jesus.
Yeah, she probably bleeds more in the menstrual cycle than being stabbed in this vagina.
Ooh.
And I'm sorry. I instantly regret saying that. I instantly regret saying that. I am sorry. I apologize.
Okay. I mean, you have to go there, don't you? I mean, we're talking about blood and vaginas.
Yeah,
so
it's the natural train. The tracks just go straight there. It's just
you gotta step through that door. I mean, I don't blame you, but I tried to stay away from it. But
I'll take the heel now. I'll knock that wall down. So anyway, she's dead. Now we get the audition montage, which consists of short, shitty interviews and scenes of each applicant trying to scare the staff in the scare tryouts. That's it. One of them is a ditzy, big boob blonde that gets a job just because she's got big tits. It's boring. It's nothing fucking.
Well, it's definitely an attempt at comic relief.
It is. They're trying to lighten the mood.
Yeah,
here,
they have a guy who's like, I need a job because my parole officer says so. And the other one's like, he's
The gay guy.
He's very effeminate, and he's like, I love dressing up, and I like being a ghoul.
Yeah.
And his acting was way better than everyone else's. At least he had like inflection and movement.
So over the top, but yeah, at least.
I'll take over the top any fucking day.
Yeah, I'll take that too. Opposed to deadpan flatness.
Yes, which we get way too much of.
Yeah.
So when I saw this guy, I was like, more of this guy, please.
Yeah. So yeah, nothing really happens. It's just audition. It's just like time filler and trying to be funny. But we're gonna skip over it. We go to Cody, Dusty, and Jamie. They're in one of the houses, one of the rooms, and they find some Latin words written in blood on one of the walls. I tried to make out what it said. I only could make out one of the two words. I couldn't make out the second one, so I just skipped over it and said fuck.
Porky Orcus. I don't know what it said.
Porta, Porta, and then it looked like Orcus or something like that. Oh, something Gus or something. I don't know.
Porky Orky.
Yeah. So one of the auditioning girls, we see she gets possessed by the demon, which allows her to ace her scare test, but we never see her again, and nothing ever comes of it. So what the fuck was the point? Let's move on.
Again, it was for the comic relief, because like no one ever gets a 10. No one gets a 10 out of 10 on the scare factor, and she does her
fuck you,
pukes blood. And it's kind of like they're all like, but they all said 10. You know, like. They didn't act scared at all.
No.
They're just like, meh.
Because I guarantee the big muscle bound guy was like, I have to be Mr. Cool. Can't be scared. Nothing would scare me. Look at me. Big muscles.
Man, you got enough for that guy.
That type of guy, because I've seen the movies before, like the guys who like can't like lure themselves. I don't want to say lure themselves, but like have enough like humility to like say, yeah, let's be, I'm gonna be scared. Like I can't, like I can never come across as weak or scared. Look at me, manly. So I don't know, but anyway, let's move on. Tim locks up the place for the night, leaving the older security guard alone to train his new younger female security guard partner. At a nearby restaurant, Dusty, Cody, and Jamie sit around talking about all the weird stuff that's been going on at the attraction. She tells them to go to Father Michael's lecture tonight because he's supposed to be an expert on demons, ghosts, and evil, which is very broad. But
so it's nighttime, right?
It is nighttime now. Yeah.
Okay.
Cut to some blonde woman gagged and tied up in one of the hallways at the haunted house.
Yeah, it's the big-tittied one who auditioned.
That's what I thought, but she's wearing like a completely different outfit now.
She is wearing a completely different outfit, but I recognize them titties, bro.
Yeah, I was like, and, well, the other thing is like
same haircut. It's
yeah,
her.
But I'm like, when did she change fucking outfit?
Yeah. Why is she tied up in the hallway?
Yeah, like all places, like the hallway. I don't know. A guy in a mask comes up behind her and, speaking in demon voice, asks her if she enjoyed her audition and if she still wants the job. He zaps her with a cattle prod. He asks her some more questions and then says to her, "Welcome aboard." And with that, he shocks the shit out of her with the cattle prod until she dies and coughs up mouth blood. She's done.
Yeah.
She's dead.
Pretty. Huh? You know, like when did she get caught? When did she get strung up? What?
Yeah.
What's good? It's like she's just there.
Yeah,
it's just there.
Yeah, it's pretty bad. Jump to Father Michael's lecture, which is really fucking boring, so I'm skipping over it.
It's long,
It's
too.
really too long for this movie.
And it's so funny because the character Dusty and Michael are sitting there.
Yeah.
Or Tim or whatever.
That's Cody. Cody and Dusty.
And he's just sitting around, they're both just kind of like, they're like rolling their eyes.
Well, Cody is sleeping and Dusty is like glued to it. He's like on front. He's like, ooh, he's wide-eyed and like enjoying it.
But it's like,
but it goes on and on. It's like this scene is way too long for this movie.
Now, I think they tried to like cash in on the shot because I gotta say they did a wide shot and I know they used computer graphics because they did a lecture hall and it sure does look like he is presenting. I have to give him credit on low budget to make it look like he is presenting to a massive crowd. So I was kind of impressed by the shot.
So I lost my spot. Okay. No. Yeah, it was nighttime. It was nighttime, I believe. Because, he locked up for the night. And now we see Jamie out on a nature hike in her tight faux leather pants, high-heeled boots, low-cut zebra print mini dress, and mini shoulder sweater, which I'm pretty sure she bought all that at a Cabela's or Bass Pro Shop.
In the middle of the day!
In the middle of the fucking day. But seriously, this outfit she wears for the entire movie, and this movie takes place at least over the course of a few days.
A couple days.
Nobody changes clothes.
No, but
except for the girl who just got murdered. We have no idea why she changed.
Maybe she came back the next day.
Yeah, it's nighttime. They're at the lecture. Boom. She's out in the middle of the fucking wilderness taking a nature hike, and it's daytime again.
Dude,
in the
it's
same
like
clothes.
in a creek with like bluffs and
like mountains and like pine trees and
she's wearing
creeks.
The most non-fucking hiking
She
outfit.
looks like she's out ready for like a night on the club.
She's wearing her doomy heels.
She is wearing the doomy boots, the stripper boots, or whatever you want to call them.
Jesus.
The streetwalkers. So she comes to this small cabin in the woods, heads inside, because why not?
Sure.
Meanwhile, Cody and Dusty, they meet Father Michael at his quote-unquote office, which is just a small, shitty strip club / bar named the Naughty Nun.
I did like the name.
I did like the name, too. But this place looks like a Giant's Brock dungeon, and some other Halloween stores just like vomited all over it. It's just nothing but shitty Halloween props, and just, it's bad.
And they're sitting around the table, and he's like, "Yes, this is my office now. This is where he hunkers down and does work."
Yeah, this is more
at the Naughty Nun.
Like, is this a priest? Does he own the place? I guess it's
like,
supposed to be his.
How is he like a really good customer, or does he own the place?
I thought he owned it. My guess was I got to be that he owned it because people kept bringing kept seeing that these girls keep bringing beers up to him like he's the owner, like he didn't pay. So I'm like, I guess he just owns the place. But yeah, the decorations are so like shitty and like just poor. It's just like you went into like a Giant Brock or like a Target or anyhow, and like, I'll buy this prop rat and this prop skull and this prop skeleton. We'll just throw it in a room together, and that's basically what this was.
Yeah.
They're talking about demons and whatnot, and this whole time they're sitting around talking. This bar club is filled with fucking mist or fog.
Yeah.
Which looks like something they added in afterward with CGI, by the way, and it looks so bad and out of place. And I was like, what the fuck? They're inside. Why is there fog and mist in here? They're inside a building. But there's just a shitty, and it's like, not just like stags there. It's like it's moving like in a breeze behind Dusty this entire scene. And it's like, what the hell is happening?
I didn't even notice it.
Yeah. How did you not notice that?
Because I was going, wow. Wow. Just like Dusty did in this whole fucking scene. Whenever a stripper would walk by or something, you just go, wow.
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 That is a great Dusty impression.
Wow.
Yeah.
And then it was supposed to be like a joke after a while. It was supposed to be kind of like funny, him just saying wow over and over again. But it's all this guy is a deadpan. I mean, so deadpan. It's lost on me.
Yeah, I agree. Enough said about that. I'm sorry. I'm just. So we go back to the haunted attraction, and we rejoin the security guard and his young female trainee. He's showing her the security monitors and all the camera feeds. And then they flip to one of the rooms, the room with the altar in it, and they see the shadow of a man kind of standing in the room.
They're like, "Oh, we're the only people here. Why is this guy? Who's this guy?"
Yeah, who's this? And the old man's like, "I don't know. You go check it out." So he sends his trainee to go check it out.
He kind of looks like Lemmy. R.I.P. Lemmy.
And again, his quote-unquote chick security guard trainee is also dressed up like she's going to the fucking club instead of working a late night security job.
Pretty hot too.
Yeah, and she got like one of those shirts on that's like black. It's got like a shiny like collar, but it's like one of those like one shoulder like blouse shirts, and like her one shoulder is kind of hanging out, and it's like she's trying to be all cute and sexy. And like what? Who wears this?
But she's got a baseball cap that says security.
Yeah, like that's her authority.
That's her authority.
What the fuck?
Something else I noticed.
And meanwhile, I'm sorry, but the old man is dressed like an old timey police officer. He's got like the old weird hat and the like jacket and badge on.
You're right.
I
expect to be like walking down the street like Sean Connery in the
At first
Untouchables.
I was gonna say he looks like an old timey bus driver, like the guy from the fucking Honeymooners, man. He had that like blue jacket on.
Bang boom, straight to the moon.
Like, what the fuck is going on with these people's clothes in this movie?
I just want to see him like walking around, swinging around his nightstick in his hand. Top of the morning to you, just like an old Irish cop.
Yeah.
Instead, he looks like Lemmy.
So she gets to the altar room, finds nothing and no one there.
Did you notice they're all using those fucking Nextel like
walkie-talkies.
They're all cell phones, but it has that
the push to talk.
That push to talk thing that never took off.
No, because it was still like push to talk. Why not just talk? Why not just call and talk? That seems a lot easier.
Oh yeah, I mean, I could maybe get it for like a construction site, but then just use a fucking walkie-talkie.
Yeah, it's like
exactly. Or something where you gotta immediately talk to people or but. God damn, those things never took off.
No, they didn't.
I remember they're like, "This is a new thing."
I remember when they first came out, like, "Oh, that's kind of cool." And when I first like, "Oh, that's neat."
And then I thought about it, like,
it's new, yeah. But as soon as I thought about it, I was like,
"Yeah,
that's fucking stupid."
I'm never going to use that.
That's so retarded. Like, that's the dumbest thing.
I'm never going to use it. Why would I? I'd be like, burp, burp. "Hey, oh man, are you there? Let's pick up." Like, asshole, call
Fuck,
me.
let me just call you. Hey, how you doing?
That shit never took off. Oh man, they put so much into that too.
Yeah, they did. Anyway, so that's when someone wearing like this raggedy dead soldier zombie costume pops up behind the old man, kills him with repeated blows to the head with an axe. I think I don't really see what it is.
I thought it was a lead pipe, but
I didn't know what it fucking was. So he's dead. We go back to the girl. She turns around to leave the room, and the same killer instantly pops up behind her, like is face to face with her. It's like instantaneous teleportation. Boom, right there.
It's the same guy because it's a very unique look.
Oh, yeah, it's the same
got,
dead soldier zombie
bandoliers or whatever on his chest, and his face is zombified. Yeah.
And that's it. And just a hard cut back to Father Michael's. Cody and Dusty, they're sitting around talking and drinking. Father Michael finally gets interested in what they have to say when they show him a picture of the altar. But Michael is like excuses himself and leaves after looking at the picture. He's like, "Oh, that's interesting." But then he gets like a look at it, like, "All right, I'm out of here. I gotta go." So something's up. We go cut to Jamie, who's still inside the small cabin, which is now nighttime again, by the way.
Yeah.
So she's been in there for apparently, I guess, 12 hours or something. Who knows? And the ghost of the same woman we saw earlier
now appears
in a rocking chair. It's the same one we saw in the haunted house. Jamie sits in the chair across from the ghost, and the two of them carry on like this little conversation.
I know you. And she's like, "Yeah." She talks to me. She looks like fucking Gollum. She
Yeah.
looks like Gollum's mom.
That's a great. Yeah, she really does.
She doesn't look human in the least. I mean, it's like, oh, you're a fucking demon. Oh, you're a fucking creature from the darkness.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's sit down and have some tea.
And not only that, like this woman speaks in a demonic voice.
Yes.
Like, hello, but Jamie's like, "Yeah, let's just have tea and chit chat."
Sure.
So they talk about Jamie's.
God damn it.
I know. So they talk about Jamie's mother, Jamie being a psychic, and how the gates of hell can be permanently resolved. That's the big sticking point. Through all this, Jamie, like I said, acts like the talking to a ghost is old hat. It's
A
like
demon ghost.
A demon.
Yeah.
Like, this is totally normal. Now the ghost becomes her psychic Yoda, if you will, and pushes Jamie to use her powers as a seer.
Like, use the force.
Yeah, it's like, I can't. It's just, the scene is fucking ridiculous. I actually did an audio grab of this scene so you can listen to just how stupid this is. And I got some comments to say about it afterwards, but check this out. It's about a minute long, so hang tight with it.
What brings you this deep into our woods, Miss Jamie?
I don't know. I just felt like
I'm just fucking with you. You're here because I have something you want. Something you need.
And that is...
Don't underestimate your own abilities. You come from a long bloodline of seers. So tell me, what do you want?
information.
About what?
I don't know.
You know? Push yourself.
Evil.
What kind of evil?
It's everywhere.
Be more specific.
An altar.
What kind of altar?
I don't know.
You do know.
Stop.
Tell me now.
The satanic altar.
Where?
At the House of Horrors.
So yeah, that's what I don't get half of what they're talking about here. Because, first of all, she's talking about trying to, use your psychic powers, but there's nothing psychic about what she does. She's like, what do you want? Information. Well, no shit. That's right here in the first place. About what? The altar. You already know. She already knows the altar. She knows all this. There's nothing psychic going on.
I was thinking the exact same thing. I'm like, bitch, you just answered all your own questions.
Yeah, it's like there's no psychic seer, fortune telling thing going on here.
We've already established all of this.
Yes, we know everything. It's like, what the fuck? It's so fucking badly done. It's just bullshit. Like, it's just awful. It's so bad. And then what's with the ghost trying to be sarcastic? It's like, oh, I'm just fucking with you. Like,
I'm cool. Wise cracking ghost.
I have a rubber chicken in the bathroom. Pull my finger. It's what the fuck is happening? What's going on here? It's just fucking retardedness in all levels. So the ghost rambles on, and she tells Jamie that the blood of the pure can permanently resolve the gates of hell. Keep that, because that line is a big deal and comes back lots of times. So the blood of the pure can permanently resolve the gates of hell. And with that, the ghost disappears. We go back to Father Michael, who's looking at the pictures of the altar at his back of his little desk with a crucifix doll exploder statue. Blurry red demon vision spies on him from overhead. And he also, this was fun. He also sees the image of the glowing red eyes in the famous Last Supper painting, which that came out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Like,
what?
What?
Huh?
So you're saying what was Da Vinci, right? Like Leonardo da Vinci's
Yeah.
Last Supper, it has demon eyes in it now? Like,
Probably
what?
one of the most studied pieces
Yeah.
in all of our art history.
Like, I don't remember that in the Da Vinci Code being talked about. The demon eyes in the picture.
Tom Hanks, how did you miss that,
Yeah.
you hack?
So I was like, what the shit, man? We cut to Cody and Dusty talking in a parking lot now. Cody gets a call from Father Michael, who tells him that the altar is a lock to the gates of hell, and if the altar is fully assembled, the gates will open. He also says that there is always a keeper, someone that is close to the altar who watches over it and has complete access to it. So if I'm not mistaken, they just ripped off Ghostbusters here with the whole gatekeeper keymaster stuff. Am I right? Am I wrong in thinking that?
Not bad of a leap there. Yeah.
It's exactly like we're what, Zool and where're the other names?
Well, there is no Dana. There's only Zool.
Yeah, there is only Zool. So
Gozer. Gozer the Garzarian.
Yes, thank you, Gozer.
It's been a while since I've seen that.
It has been a long time since I've seen it. Anyway, so Michael tells him that this keymaster must be stopped, and then he just hangs up the phone. Cody gets in his truck to go meet Jamie at the haunted house and tells Dusty to go break into Tim's house, which is 2 blocks away, and look for something unusual.
Yeah, he did. He
So
goes,
specific.
go look, man. You'll find something. He's like, what? He's like, he'll be at the Guar concert.
Yeah.
He's gonna be out all night.
All night. He's gonna pull all night at the Guar concert. So, we cut back to Father Michael, who's sitting at his desk. He pulls out a large handgun, holds it to his head, but the blurry red filter rushes him. Like we see it zoom in on him, and that's it. Hard cut to Tim standing in front of the altar, holding an old, dirty black skull. He places the skull on the altar as the blurry red filter of death watches on. When the skull is placed on the altar vomits out a cloud of green smoke.
Yeah, green smoke, like poof.
And then Tim walks away. We cut to another room of the haunted house where we see the security girl, the girl security guard wakes up. She's stripped down to her bra and thong. She's gagged and duct taped to a table.
Like a stainless steel table. It's like a butcher shop room.
Or like an old like morgue table, operating table type thing.
Yeah.
In walks the dead soldier zombie. He stands over the girl for a bit. Again, this girl hardly reacts to her current situation or predicament at all. She never fights to free herself. She doesn't try to scream or act afraid or wiggle free. She basically just lays there like this is something out like 50 Shades of Grey or something like that.
Yeah, so you can see her.
She's like, oh, I'm going to get fucked in the ass, but I'm not. That's okay. I'm nervous. I'm kind of scared, but I want it. It's like,
kind of excited.
Yeah, there's no fear or sense of danger to this girl whatsoever.
She does have writing on the side of her ribs.
She does have a rib tattoo.
Now, is that the new tramp stamp? I think that is.
That
is
maybe.
this generation's new tramp stamp. Is the rib,
The rib?
the tattoo on the rib of some sort of like quote or lyric or something like that. That's the new tramp stamp, my friend. I'm saying it here. New tramp stamp.
So the soldier zombie
I always
pulls.
liked the tramp stamp.
I did too. I
Yeah.
always did too.
Yeah, it's tacky, but it's also kind of like
Yeah, but it was
dirty stuff.
It was dirty stuff. That's why everyone loves the tramp stamp. People
Yeah.
say it's tramp stamp, but there's a reason it was popular and people like
It's
it.
like that's the girl that has the bad hair, like the bleached out hair.
That's the girl. That's the girl you want to take. You don't necessarily take home to mom, but you want to take home to your college dorm room.
Yeah, that's the girl that like gets super turned on by yellow Corvettes and cocaine.
Or a 12-pack of Natty Light or something if you're in college.
Well, if you get some dirty ones, yeah.
So the soldier zombie pulls out a live grenade from a fucking grenade in a goddamn haunted house. Apparently, he pulls it out of nowhere, pulls the pin on the grenade, and then pours a bottle of lube over the grenade. He runs his hand holding the grenade up the girl's leg, then shoves the grenade up the girl's ass. I guess either the ass or the pussy.
Yeah.
He shoves it up in her somewhere, then takes a step back and lights a cigar.
She does react to that.
Yeah, that she reacts to. Again, that could have been a fucking 50 Shades of Grey weird sex fetish. Like, fisting, shove a grenade up me or something. I don't know. It's about the same size, really. So the zombie takes a step back, lights a cigar.
He just really calmly takes a step back, lights up a cigar, and as he lights it, in all the computer graphic glory.
Yes. The grenade explodes into all the CGI glory, like Aaron said. It's a great way to explain. Leaving just the upper half of the girl still taped to the table. Her whole lower half is just completely gone.
Bloody remains.
Yeah. We cut to Jamie as she meets up with Cody. She tells him about the altar being the gate to hell. Jamie then suddenly has this fucking moment of clarity and figures out that Tim is the gate guardian, the key master, I guess, and tells Cody to call Dusty. So we cut over to Tim's house, which, by the way, is a giant Victorian mansion, complete with like giant stone gargoyles lining the sidewalk, which bullshit, this fucker can afford that place. No way does he live there. This place looks more like a museum than a house.
Yeah, and this is on a haunted house manager's salary.
Yeah, exactly. So, and with all the money he spends on fucking, supplements and gym membership, there's no way he affords that house. Dusty enters through a window. Inside the house also looks like a giant Bronx dungeon and a Spirits Halloween store vomited all over the place.
Nothing but just props.
Yeah, it's just shitty props all over the place. Just
and the camera's like zooming in on him, like
oh. Dusty finds a DVD labeled Tim's Nighttime Fun.
Dude, look for something suspicious. Wouldn't you expect an asshole who powerlifts all day and like is into chicks with blonde hair and big tits would have a DVD that would say Tim's Nighttime Fun? That's not suspicious at all.
No.
I'd be like, yep, par for the course.
Yeah,
what else is
expect that?
Yeah. What else is
Now,
around?
I still might take it to watch it later, but I agree. Tori like, well, whatever. So, but Dusty's like, whatever. I got time to kill because Tim's at the Guar concert.
He's gonna be out all
I don't
night.
care that I'm breaking and entering right now. So he pops the DVD in, and basically, Dusty watches Tim murder a bunch. This is where Amy Nicoletto, the tattoo girl, makes her cameo. She's the first girl we see.
Oh, okay.
And he murders her with a bunch of other young women in the haunted house, dressed up in various costumes. And
so
masks.
he's into dressing up as spooks and doing
Killing
snuff
people.
films.
Yeah, snuff films. So the DVD ends, and then Dusty hears the sounds of a shotgun cocking behind him. He stands up, turns around to see Tim standing there holding a SWAT team level shotgun.
Fucking like
It's
crowd
huge.
clearer.
Yeah,
You
it's like a
know?
fucking riot gun.
It's huge. It looks like fucking Leon Kennedy lent him his souped up shotgun from Resident Evil 2.
You got the special key, found it in the locker, but you left the other gun there for Claire when she comes through on her playthrough because you didn't want to fuck her over.
You don't want to leave her
So you
empty-handed.
gotta leave one behind if you're playing smartly.
Yeah.
Anyway, I don't know why I'm going there, but yeah. Dusty tries to explain himself, but Tim, who is now speaking in the demon voice, just like fuck you, blows Dusty's head off with the shotgun. Dusty's head explodes in a bloody CGI mess.
It's so fun. And like his head's there, and then his head's gone. And there's just blood flying around. It's so awesome.
It's almost like that the old like the very first time somebody figured out on film how to make somebody like turn invisible or disappear. Like it's like, okay, you're there now, freeze, poof, cut. All right, now get out of the way, action, and he's gone. But the editing's so rough. It's like head's there, head's gone. It's so bad.
And there's just this next up going.
With all the CGI blood, it's just so obvious and
It's
bad.
so weird.
It's
Dude, there's like a ring. It's like where his neck's up in. It's like a cartoon ham.
Yeah.
You ever seen the bone?
yeah.
It's like the same thing. It's this perfect circle with this little bone. First thing I thought it was like Tom and Jerry cartoons.
Tom looks up at the blurry red filter of death and smiles. We cut to Father Michaels, who arrives at the haunted house. He goes inside while Jamie and Cody are walking through the halls talking about the altar and some other shit. Who knows? They enter one of the rooms, and finally, for the very first time, Jamie has some sort of weird psychic vision of Tim killing all the various girls in this room. Like, so the first time in this movie, we get one hint of something going on with this girl. And we're like an hour and 20 minutes into an hour and 25-minute movie.
Just now.
Yeah. Just now.
Showing off her seer
Yeah.
abilities.
So when she snaps out and she turns to Cody, like, oh, Cody, wait, I gotta tell you this. But she doesn't get a chance because she tries to tell Cody that Tim's the altar guarding the keymaster or whatever, but like I said, she doesn't get a chance to because someone in a skin-tight demon costume pops up and cuts Cody's head off with a machete. Cody's decapitated head looks up at Jamie and tells her to run.
Run!
What?
What the fuck?
How does a severed head speak? Now, I've heard theories and thoughts about like if
The
your head,
eyes moving, yes.
and
yes.
if your head's cut off so quickly, the brain's still alive that you can actually maybe see for a second or two, or you still have some thoughts. But I don't think you can speak because your vocal cords and throat are missing.
Separated from your lungs.
Yeah. Like, how do you speak with a severed head?
Oh, man, that was so awesome.
I know. Like, what? What did we just cross into? Did we just go to, like, slapstickville? Like, what is happening?
But it just got killed by like a skinned Donnie Darko bunny.
Yeah.
I don't know what this...
It's like a skinned bunny or like a bunny skull or something like that.
Yeah, and it just made me think it's like Donnie Darko skinned bunny killer
Great.
thing.
Yeah, that's perfect.
Yeah, I mean, it was weird looking. I was like, okay, that's fucking creepy looking, but
yeah, and
but we've seen Tim wear these different costumes.
But you can also tell that's not Tim because the guy is nowhere near as big.
No,
like height wise, maybe, but the guy is like a skinny, normal dude.
He's a normal guy
in a skin tight.
Whereas Tim's
like fucking huge,
fucking brick shithouse.
Yeah, so it's not him. Anyway, so yeah, heeding the decapitated head's warning, Jamie takes off running through the halls, being chased by the blurry red filter. She runs into the altar room, gets cornered by Tim in the demon suit. He's about to kill her when Father Michael shows up and shoots Tim with his gun, killing him instantly with like one shot.
That's all it takes?
Yeah, one shot.
How big is this fucker?
The guy's like a fucking grizzly bear. And he's like, one shot takes him down.
Bang!
Bang! No, and that's the perfectly placed shot.
Let's leave now.
Exactly. You would think so.
He's the guardian of the altar. The altar needs to be completed. We got all that information.
Yeah,
you just killed him.
Do it.
Break the altar.
Or, call
it a day.
Exactly. Why don't you burn the altar down, break it with a sledgehammer, hack it apart with that machete you just cut off Cody's head with?
Right.
I mean, but no. Here's what happens. Father Michael hands the gun to Jamie and basically says, hey, kill me. It's the only way. Just shoot me. Are you fucking kidding me? Because, again, he quotes, the blood of the pure and the gates be permanently resolved. She hesitates at first, but not very long.
No, she doesn't give too much thought to
No,
it.
not very much. The blurry red filter's watching them from above. She shoots Father Michael, who falls to the floor. In his last dying act, he reaches a bloody hand up and grabs the black skull, wiping his blood on it. The altar vomits out some more smoke, and all goes still and quiet for a moment. Jamie exits the haunted house into the warehouse lobby area. And that's when the whole building spontaneously erupts in crappy CG flames.
Dude, it just becomes a CG fuckfest.
It is a CG fuckfest from here on out.
CG fire everywhere.
And it's like, it looks like CG from like 1998. It's like baby's first CG.
All over the place.
Yeah. It's Fisher Price CG. The ghost of the old woman appears again to Jamie, telling Jamie that you did well. You did very well. And that she opened the gates of hell. Confused, Jamie argues like, what? I did everything you told me to. You said the blood of the pure would resolve the gates. And the ghost replies saying, resolution. Only your stupidity assumed I meant closed.
I have play on words.
Yeah. The ghost thanks Jamie, and then Father Michael, or his ghost, I guess, pops up.
He appears in like a blue light, like he's a fucking Jedi.
Jedi ghost, but he too says, we all thank you, Jamie. What?
So he's in on it too?
How is he? What is happening?
Because that doesn't make any sense.
No!
Because they brought his ass into it.
Yes!
Why would... God damn it.
I don't, like, the only thing I can figure out, this is the only thing I can think of, is when he was about to kill himself, the red glow rushed him. So I'm guessing, okay, if he's possessed, and then he goes there and tricks Jamie into shooting him and puts his blood on, that's what the only thing, but it's still like, what is this bullshit? It's some lame bullshit here.
I see what you mean, and that very well could be the case, but they didn't do a good enough job representing it.
Exactly. And because he doesn't, all the other people who've been possessed that we see, like the girl in the auditions, and Tim when he talked, and they've all spoken in the demon voice or acted weirdly. Father Michael was perfectly fine. Right. So they should have done something to show like maybe something's off with him. Maybe Jamie doesn't pick up on it, but the audience should have picked up on it. Right. To make that clear, because when he just pops up, he's like, "Hey, thank you too." I was like, "Wait, what?"
And I'm a Jedi.
Because I had to stop. Like after so I was like, "What the fuck?" Like then I was like, oh, this is maybe what happened. But if I had to take that long to make this jump, this conclusion, and even then we're still not 100% sure, that's bad. That's just shitty writing and bad direct. Anyway, so it's fucked up. Anyway, he says, we all thank you, and he fades away. Jamie now raises the gun to her head. The ghost now turns into like the Emperor from Star Wars, and it's like, yes, good, give in to the dark side. That's basically what he's saying to her. Yeah, go ahead, kill yourself. Yes. And
here's your mother.
Yeah, and some other giant demon that looks like it raided Guar's costume closet.
Oh shit!
Like pops up out of nowhere.
He's huge, and all these little minions pop up.
He pops up, and first like, oh, it's just a regular demon, and then we get a wide shot, and he's like, there's supposed to be this towering, huge thing. Here's like an army of undead minions around, but the undead minions are all CGI cut and paste copies of one dude.
They're the exact same guy.
In a latex mask.
Like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're just kind of like moving in unison. Like,
yeah, they're all cut and paste and a plot of, and they try to make the other demon look huge, but the problem is they didn't think about proportion, because all you see is this giant upper body, so he'd be this huge giant upper body, but he would have tiny baby legs if that was the thing. Like, he would be so easy, he would just push him over. Like, there's no way it's so ridiculous, and there's all this CGI fire around him. It's
a shit show.
It is a shit show.
It's a CGI shit show. It's like, I'm looking at this with my mouth agape, just like, what the fuck am I looking at?
Oh my God, I'm sweating. I'm laughing so hard.
then it pans over to the girl, her mouth's agape,
Yeah.
and she's putting a gun into it. And I'm like, that's right, sister. I'm right there with you.
Yeah. And the ghost tells Jamie that her mother's here, and we get another shitty CG like demon.
I liked it. It was so weird, though.
But the demon looks like a shitty like animatronic prop because the way it pops up on screen kind of shakes.
And it's shaking
like an
really
animatronic.
weird. It's like,
it's like a hydraulic lift. It goes. Shot the thing up and goes.
It's shaking around all crazy. It's screaming. Its eyes are gouged out. It looked kind of cool.
But
and I was like,
exactly a problem.
but the whole time she's got her mouth open, just slowly putting a gun into her mouth. And I'm like, yep, I'm right there with you.
So she puts the gun all the way in her mouth. The ghost says, like mother, like daughter. Jamie pulls the trigger, killing herself.
You see blood splatter on the back of the wall.
Her body begins to fall to the floor in slow motion. Blackout, roll credits along with the shitty rockabilly haunted house song again. And that's House of Horrors, The Gates of Hell.
So some assholes at a haunted house in Buffalo, New York just ended the world.
Yeah.
Thanks a lot, dicks.
Yeah. All right. Let's go on to favorite kills.
Don't act like you didn't love it. Favorite kill.
All right.
Good God.
God damn this. Yeah. All right. What do you got this week, Aaron? What's your?
Okay, I was really scared at first that the kills were all going to be just bursting.
Yeah,
into flame.
I thought the same too. So I'm like, oh fuck, here's a pattern coming.
But at least they did throw some variety in there. They did kill people in different ways. I kind of like the hand grenade up the butt veg.
The butt, yeah.
You know, that was at least kind of
the mystery orifice.
Yeah. So that was kind of cool. But to be perfectly honest, my first kill was my favorite. Was the bald guy walking into the warehouse and him flying across, because they did do that wide shot and like he flew up at least 15 feet. I mean, it could have been a dummy, but it was done well enough that you saw it from a distance. It looked good. I was actually pretty excited. I was like, "Oh, that's kind of I haven't seen that before. That's kind of unique."
It is CG,
but it was well done. It was done well enough that I was like, "Yeah, okay, that's kind of fun." And he slapped against the wall and burst into flames. I'm like, "Okay, interesting. Okay, I kind of like the way it started." That was my favorite kill.
All right. Yeah, just like you, I was scared when first two kills. I was like, "Oh."
But when I saw the second one burst into flames the same way, I'm like, "Oh no!"
It just gave me nothing but spontaneous
bursting into flames.
Spontaneous combustions. My favorite kill is either the. I like the machete through the vag was always fun, but I think I'm gonna go with the grenade up the ass or pussy because we don't know, but
the mystery orifice.
Mystery orifice, just because. I will say that's one thing this movie has. We have not seen that before in any movie. That
was a unique one.
That is a unique one. So I will give them credit for that. Now the CGI effect of foul was shit, but I will say but like what he pulls out a grenade and the lube, and I'm just like, oh fucking
the fact that he lubed it up.
Yeah, he took the time and care to lube it up.
That's what sold it.
Yeah,
that's what sold it.
So
I
think I'm going to the grenade up the mystery.
Yeah, that one got my honorable mention. Yeah.
So. Okay, there's our favorite kills for the week. Let's move on to odds and ends.
Not only did they watch these films, they researched them too. Ugh, what is wrong with these guys?
All right, ratings. IMDb gives it a 4.9 out of 10, which I thought was really high. Rotten Tomatoes, no thermometer score, but it has a fucking whopping 67% audience score.
Goddamn.
But it's only based on 13 reviews, but still 67% is one of the highest scores we've had on the show.
That's a tiny sample, though.
Right, but I'm just saying, I'm still shocked. Amazon gives it a 2.5 out of 5. Plot keywords, only one, and that's just haunted house attraction.
I was about to say haunted house.
Yeah. Panty lovers, there's panties and thongs in here for you, so get on it. Add panties as a
Get on it, panty lovers.
Get on it, guys. I want to log into this next week and see panties as a plot keyword. All right, trivia. Only two things I wrote down, and they weren't really nothing special. But this is the second movie made by and filmed at the House of Horrors and Haunted Catacombs haunted attraction in Cheektowaga, New York, which I guess is outside Buffalo.
Say it again.
Cheektowaga. It's Cheektowaga. Cheektowaga.
Chickawaga. Yeah.
Chickawaga. I don't know. Anyway,
Chickawaga.
obviously Indian, but yeah. So and then the first film that was filmed there was simply called House of Horrors, the movie, and based on the quick little blurb I read about, it sounded like it's the exact same movie as this one. Like it was like they just like the exact same thing. Only maybe they came back and redid this one or
like Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
Yeah, like almost the exact same thing. So that's it. That's all the trivia I got. Nothing surprising there. But as this is the second movie though we've had on the show. No, I think like the third. Movie that's been on the show that has actually been filmed in an actual haunted attraction. The first was Scare Zone.
Yeah.
The second was
House is that October build?
No. Oh well, actually, I take it back. We take it back. The first half of the house was because they did go real on. So okay, we'll add that. But then, fuck, I hate that movie.
Pumpkin Carver.
No, it was the one you weren't here with. Daniel Harris was in it. You weren't there for that one.
Oh God, I don't.
Fuck.
Doug did it.
Doug and Chris that in.
Yeah.
But that one took place at a place called like the Bates Motel Haunted, Corn Rider Field. Anyway, so
damn, I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, I can't remember either off the top of my head. Anyway, but so the one much true, but we're gonna make up for it this week for finally, it's back. We get to play the budget game.
Sweet.
Time for Aaron to blow his wad with the budget game.
All right. So, Aaron, what is your guess for the budget of the 2012 House of Horrors, The Gates of Hell?
It had a lot of extras, a lot of people doing this movie. You had a cameo from a, C-list celebrity. Lots of props, but at the same time, it kind of goes in hand with the haunted house attraction itself. It's kind of a commercial, so $1.2 million.
Okay. Your guess is $1.2 million. Aaron, I'm so glad you said that because finally I get to say once again, you blew your load so hard. So hard.
Sometimes it feels good to do that.
It does. Yeah. Oh my God. The budget for this movie that showed up when I looked, $10,000.
Holy shit! Are you kidding me?
They owned the whole sets and all they had to do was like probably pay for some equipment and the shitty CGI probably cost most of their budget.
They didn't account all that shit into their budget. They didn't account all their props, all their stuff.
Probably not if they already owned it.
Those fuck faces!
Yeah.
They screwed me, Marshall.
Yeah, I see where you're going, but yeah, because I think they already own the haunted house and all those props went into the haunted house budget, not the movie budget. The movie budget is probably just, hey, we need to get some equipment and to pay for the shit, the really crappy CGI effects. God. That's probably where the entire budget went.
Damn it.
All right.
I suck at this. Anytime I'm like, oh yeah.
Speaking of the props, I don't know if you saw these or noticed, or it maybe made the same link. I don't know if this was a shout out, an homage, or just a coincidence. But twice in the movie, they showed the same prop, and it was a large person in overalls and flannel with a pig head.
Yeah!
Like, is that pork chop?
Dude, it looked a lot like pork
please
chop.
That's pork chop. And plus Sam Qualiana's in this movie. So
yes.
Oh my God. Please tell me that's a shout out to pork chop.
I saw that too.
Either that or it's just a complete coincidence. But I was like, oh, my first thing was like, pork chop.
Right. That's exactly what I thought. I was like, man, it looks like fucking pork chop.
So, anyway, let's move on to our 5-star reviews.
These special movies have a place in these special people's hearts. 5-star reviews.
And boy, oh boy, do we have a lot of reviews to get through on this one today.
Really?
Yeah. There were 91 total reviews on this movie on Amazon. 21% of them were 5 stars, with 31% 1 star. So sit back and enjoy some of this shit. First off, from Caroline. Hold on, I got burp.
Sweet Caroline?
Yep, Sweet Caroline. All right.
Bum, bum, bum.
All right, now just sit back and hold on to your seats for these. I was on the edge of my seat while watching this movie. Excellent fear. We bought it. We've watched it a few times as we love the fear factor in it. Director, very good.
The fear?
Love the actors. Danielle Tewell was excellent. Didn't realize until the 3rd or 4th time that she is also the old woman in The Rocker. Great acting. Cody was excellent as well as other actors. Strange mind to figure out how many ways you can scare people. Great movie! If you love fear, then you will love this movie. Have sent it to several relatives after watching it. They are going to buy their own copy. 5 stars. Fuck you.
Oh, man.
If I had a relative send me this movie and raving about, I'd be like, you're not going to Thanksgiving anymore. I disowned it. From Colleen H. If you love having a movie surprise you and keep you on the edge of your seat, this movie is for you. The quality of the film screams of Hollywood and makes it even better when you found it was done by an independent filmmaker. There were a few disturbing times, but you won't be able to look away. Everything from the acting to special effects is top notch. If you have any love of a good horror film, then you must get this one. It is amazing what they can do when you take someone with talent and turn them loose with a camera. Do yourself a favor and order this film. You will not be disappointed. 5 stars. From Steve. The moment I sat down to watch this movie, I was wondering if I had missed it in the theaters. Then I found out it was an independent film. What? Ooh. This movie is Hollywood quality in all facets of the movie. The writing, the production, the filming, the cast. This movie has it all and is scary as heck. If you're a fan of horror movies and haunted houses, this is the movie to watch and add to your collection. 5 stars. This film is from Voice Coach. This film is one of the best independent horror films I have seen yet. Can't believe this film did not come straight out of Hollywood with all the great effects, cinematography, storyline, and such. Well immersed humor. This movie is one you won't want to miss. 5 stars.
Hold on.
Oh no! Well, I know. Hold on. From Lewis S. If nobody told me that this was an independent film, I would think this came from Hollywood. I have watched horror films my entire life. This film gave me quality CGI and honestly scared me. I'm so impressed that I can't wait for them to complete this series. They have to complete it. 5 stars. From Boo Crew Triple X. It's hard to believe something this good is completely locally independent movie. The special effects and acting are both impressive regardless of where it was filmed and produced. 5 stars. From DWM Productions Inc. Was amazed how this independent film looks so much like a real Hollywood film. 5 stars. From Rain, the effects and cinematography were amazing. A fantastic independent production with some sick laughs thrown into horror, some decent acting and funny cameos as well. W. Piccolo, this is an excellent movie. I watched it 3 times and the first day I got it. I love it. Last one from Charlene Kuzenow. Top-notch film. Special effects are amazing. 5 fucking stars.
Dude, did they just put program into a bot and just program right independent? Can't believe independent film from Hollywood. That's CGI cinematography.
I literally wrote in my notes. Seriously, are we being punked by these reviews?
No shit.
What is fucking happening here? So
never, ever have we seen anything like that before.
No.
And we've been doing this a while.
Yeah, no, so many. I can't believe it's not Hollywood. I can't believe it's not Hollywood.
They all sound.
That's why I had to write those on. I'm like, this is fucking bonkers. This is never happened before.
That's pure troll. That's pure troll.
Here's what it is: pure troll. Now, I did some research. I couldn't find the names. I went through every name and reviewed. None of the names match up with people in the cast or crew. But DWN Productions Inc. is one of the top 5-star reviews, and that is one of the production companies that was behind making this movie.
Oh well, that would make sense.
But the rest of them are like, what is that?
They're so similar in description and voice and inflection. Yes, it's the same writer, the same person making multiple different accounts. Now, here's a question: you did research on these usernames. Did they review anything else?
You know what? I should have done that. I did not. I had that much time to deep dive. I basically just looked at the names, initials, and then went through the cast list and crew and see if any were cast or crew or.
I'm willing to bet you anything that those fucks.
This was the only review they wrote.
That was the only one they wrote.
I do remember one movie. I remember what movie it was, but that was the thing. Somebody looked up and some review was crazy, kind of suspicious like this. And I looked up and it was it was their one and only review was that movie where they were sucking its dick so hard or something like that.
Yeah.
So you're probably right.
That was a fucking suck fest.
Exactly. I was like, I can't believe people are writing these views about this fucking movie.
Fellatio Palooza going on.
So to bring it back down to earth, I went to the 1-star side, obviously.
Attaboy.
And I wrote down a few of those. So from AP, I know most horror movies aren't very good, and my expectations weren't very high. But since this movie has a current rating of 3 stars at the time, so it was older, I thought it'd be a good time waster. I was wrong. It's very amateurish in the filming, special effects, and acting. The actors could be looking straight at a demon and have no reaction. It seemed like they were bored, and so was I. It seemed to be on par with your local high school AV club's offerings. That was a waste of time. I hope everyone involved with this film has moved on to better things in life. After all, even Jennifer Aniston started out with Leprechaun, 1 star. From John St. Amand. My 7-year-old picked it. I think he was happy with it. If red filters scare you, this may be the film for you. 1 star.
Nice.
From Tony. Looked promising until the first guy died. Then the true quality showed itself. 1 star. DDC. This movie is like a circle. ... It has no point. 1 star. And Amazon customer just simply wrote, honestly, what the fuck? 1 star.
Those feel a little more authentic.
Yeah, those feel, yes, much more authentic.
Man, I got to give you props on your rant there. The way you were reading that with such fury and fast, like your face was getting red and you were starting to sweat a little bit.
Yeah.
But you just kept going.
Well, I had to get through them because I like the really emphasize, like, so you would hear how many times you would hear independent movie in Hollywood back to back.
I can't believe it.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
And because I didn't want you to stop me until I got all the way through, because I knew you were where you were gonna pick up. I was like, I gotta get through all this.
Hold on,
because we haven't. That's just the tip of the iceberg. We haven't seen the rest of these yet.
Christ.
So, all right. Anyway, let's wrap this one up, and let's launch into our final thoughts here for this one.
Independent film. I gotta say, I was fucking impressed to find out it was $10,000, but I think that's kind of wishy-washy. I bet you anything is probably closer to. Fuck it, I'll put it in half, $500,000, because that space alone, the amount of people you had, all the props and all that shit. I'm including all that shit, motherfucker.
No.
God damn it.
They already own the space, so if you already own it, that's not the budget.
Let me talk here.
And the
it's
extra,
my
are you kidding?
time.
Extras will do that shit for free. You're not paying the extras.
Down. Anyway, I was impressed by the fact that it's $10,000. So and for an independent film, I'm very much overlooking some of the special effects. But here's the problem. Okay. They got obsessed with the CGI.
Yeah.
They went way too deep with the CGI. I'd much rather see an attempt at a shitty practical effect as long as it's bloody and weird. Pork Chop did it all the time.
Yep.
Those guys made films that were like bloody and weird and, all based on practical effects. Not all of them paid off, but enough of them did that I was like, fuck yeah, you know? And they just relied way too heavily on CGI. I wish they'd mix it up a little bit. And then after hearing all the bullshit troll responses, which I know are fucking bullshit, that shit pisses me off.
Yeah.
I was actually on the fence about this one. I really was. I was like, it's a labor of love. They probably lost some money, doing it. I'm just like, okay, and then I hear that shit. Yeah. Fuck that motherfucker. So bad it's scary.
So bad it's scary.
If they didn't suck their own dick so much, I'd probably say so bad it's good. But that shit pisses me off.
I a lot of the points I'm there with you. I guess we've been spoiled with the independent budgets, because you brought it up yourself, Pork Chop. Like, that movie, they did all practical effects, and like I said, some were great, some were good, some fell off a little fat, but they did, $3,000 was their budget for that. And that movie, I would still watch Pork Chop time and time again over some of these other movies we've been doing recently with much better budget and the CGI effects. I hate seeing CGI blood in horror movies. To me, it has no place in it. Just put some practical effects in. I don't care if it's bad. At least make the attempt. Like, I'd rather have bad practical effects than shitty CGI effects.
Yes.
Or, you know what I mean?
It's a very good way of putting it.
If it's going to be bad, at least make it practical. And because that's where, like, to me, that's like the root of horror movies, is like the practical effects. And even like the 80s slasher, they weren't great. They were still kind of bad, but they were fun bad. That's what made them so special and fun. Not these shitty CGI blood splurts and bullshit.
And if you work at it, you get better and better. You learn from your mistakes.
Yeah.
And if you're going to keep making movies, that kind of stuff pays off. I mean, we started off with Squibs back in the 70s, and then in the late 80s, you had fucking RoboCop, and that shit was amazing.
Yeah, I mean, everybody starts somewhere, so I give them that. And part of me is like, you know what? I didn't want to be too hard on this movie because, You're right. I mean, it is obviously a group of people that own. It's like for
It's a
local,
labor
it's
of love.
like the people who own the darkness here in St. Louis. They say, hey, you know what? We have this great haunted house space on these props, and said, why don't we just film a movie in here too? And it can't hurt. We might bring in some more people to see where the movie is made. So I get that. And you know what? If I was interested, I'd probably do the same thing. Like, hey, just for fun, let's make a fucking movie in here. But man, it just, to me, it just didn't work. Like, it just fell flat.
I think you could have been helped with the acting, too.
Yeah, the acting could have been much better.
Like I know they're not professionals.
Yeah, these guys are probably the people who. I mean, Tim, the muscle man guy, is the guy who actually owns or he's really with the haunted house or something. So I'm guessing, I wonder if all these actors, or at least like Dusty and Cody and like Cage, were like the people who really work at the haunted house, and they're just like, hey, let's make a movie, you guys. So I can't be too hard on, but yeah, like at that point, just get fucking YouTube or Craigslist and you get some fucking actors or something, at least some experience, and put them in there, and make that better. Because I mean, we look at Scare Zone, the first movie we did, that was kind of like this in the haunted house, and yeah, the video quality wasn't basically as good. It looked a little more independent, but the acting wasn't great. But at least it was better, and it was a better movie. I found it more entertaining. And it had its problems too, but I enjoyed Scare Zone much more.
I love how serious you're getting here. After that big rant and laughing and talking about sucking dicks, and you're toning it down, and you're really getting it down. But I appreciate it though.
But so yeah, I just want to say I'm trying to be too hard because I know the limitation of what they were trying to do, but at the same time, they did make a movie, they did put it out there, and I gotta be honest, it failed for me. It fell flat. I didn't like it. The premise could have, like, they could have made it better. Like, I think there was something there, but they just didn't
take enough time.
Yeah, to really hash it out or develop it. Like, it seemed too rushed.
Go back and rewrite.
And the choices they made with, like, just like I said, the CGI, the sound effects of that goddamn vuvuzela noise it just makes my ears bleed. There's just so much stuff that could have been done better. I'm not saying this is the worst movie we've seen, but I was bored with it. I was like, whatever. I kind of rushed through my notes on this because I was like, I'm just bored. So I'm going to say So Bad It's Scary, but it's not like we've seen worse, obviously.
Yeah.
But it's not unwatchable either. It's just not worth watching. It's just like, skip it. Just So Bad It's Scary. Just skip over it.
And I think it really could have been saved with maybe a couple rewrites, and maybe a few extra takes.
So, yeah,
okay, you did this one deadpan. Let's try a little more energy.
Yeah, the director needed to get some more. Even if they're not actors, you need to try to get a little bit more out of your cast if those are people you're going with. So I put down the director. And yeah, if
exploding cross in your hand, you go,
yeah,
goddamn,
yeah, great. And I guess it could have also been better if Jamie would have showed those giant tits of hers off. That would have been great.
Yeah.
There were like no real tits in this movie. There's one quick flash of tits when they're going through the pictures on the computer. That's it. This movie you need fucking tits in this movie to make it at least a little better.
It would help push it over the edge.
It would help push it over the edge. I mean, or at least, the girl on the table, at least show her bare ass instead of like the thong. So, how are you going to shove a grenade up her ass with the thong? It's just a thong, but still, I mean, shit's in the way. Anyway, we're both saying So Bad Scary. You can skip over this one this week. No need to watch unless you really are a glutton for punishment and you really want to watch everything we talk about, which if you do, that's awesome. Good on you.
Hey, yeah, right.
So at least, join us in our misery.
They'll be happy there. So joining the October tradition of Aaron leaving for October, I'm doing it again. I'm leaving the country. I'm going to Iceland.
He's leaving on a jet plane, literally.
Yeah, so next weekend I'll be in the land of ice, Iceland. I'm
so jealous.
So yeah,
I'm pissed that he's going in the middle of October, which is like our Christmas season. I'm like, what the fuck? But at the same time, I'm jealous because I really want to go to Reykjavik too.
Yeah.
I'm like, why don't you take me with you? Like, we could do the podcast from Reykjavik.
No, I'm going with my wife. We found some great tickets, and I might look up some relatives, the Svensons. Yeah. So, that was my grandmother's maiden name.
All I know is you better bring back some kind of like Viking. Well, it's nice, but you better bring back something.
Yeah.
Some kind of.
That's Viking out the ass out there, yeah.
Yeah, I want some Viking shit.
Well, fuck, dude. And beer's $12 over there.
Is it really?
Yeah. It's going to be a pretty pricey trip.
Bring back Thor's hammer. I want Mjolnir. Bring me back Mjolnir, and I'll be all right. I'll forgive you for leaving in the middle of October.
I think that's in Denmark. I'm not sure.
Denmark, Norway, somewhere, or Asgard. Who knows?
Yeah, that's a neighborhood in Iceland, right? Asgard, yeah.
Oh, what am I thinking? Hella shattered. It's gone. So I can't get Mjolnir. Give me a shard of Mjolnir.
Yeah, we can rebuild it.
Yeah, we'll rebuild it.
It can be forged again. You
I
just
don't
give it
know.
to Peter Dinklage.
Giant Peter Dinklage. That was awesome. Love that. Anyway, we're rambling on enough. All right, guys. Thanks for listening.
Thanks for putting up with us. All right.
We may be back. I might be back next week if I can get Phil in to join me with Aaron on short notice. I'll try to get somebody. If not, then we'll have to obviously be a week off till he gets back. But hopefully, I'll get somebody to be able to fill in with them. But I can't make any promises. But in the meantime, guys, watch more horror movies. It's the Halloween season. You know you will. Watch more horror movies. And remember to always keep it tight.